Okay, so before we get to the callers again, I wanted to go ahead and just wrap up real quick here. Yeah, there were lots of people that came online, and this woman that has this blog.
This is about the 4-year-old.
This is about the 4-year-old. The woman that has this blog post about this 4-year-old child of hers. Her name is Jean. Jean came back on to respond to all the criticism, and she basically said something to the effect, as you pointed out, hey, I didn't mean for people to comment on this that don't agree with me. You know.
People do not quite get the concept sometimes of what a blog is.
Yeah, and then she goes on to, because some people had challenged her and said, hey, do you think that you're evil and you're a sinner? And she comes back on and she says, yes. And her reason for believing this is that at some point years ago she had an abortion. Mm-hmm. And that she is so sorry because she killed her child by having this abortion and all this stuff. And so I find it really ironic that she practices a religion that says it's okay to emotionally abuse your child, but you're supposed to feel guilty forever for having an abortion. So that's pretty much what I have today. That and she's using the Bible, or excuse me, the authority of Scripture to raise her children. So I fear for her children. And the sad thing is, this is apparently not an uncommon child-rearing belief among certain Christians. The majority of the Christians who posted on that blog, and there were about 405 comments on there as of this morning. Mm-hmm. Most of the Christians support her. And
no surprise.
Most of the atheists say this is child abuse. And in fact, I think somebody did call the authorities. She lives in England. Mm. They did call the authorities, and so I think she was investigated. Yeah. But likely...
First of all, you know we're outnumbered.
Yeah.
And second of all, you have to be a little careful with that, because I know that our good friend Possum Mama, who runs a blog, has gone through a similar process where some Christians decided that she was behaving inappropriately with her kids, which is completely unfounded.
Yeah. And as I said, I would not advocate taking somebody's child away from them just for teaching religion, even if it gets pretty egregious. But I really think that folks like this need some parenting classes, and certainly they need to understand early childhood development and how easy it is to damage a child by teaching them things like hell and don't make baby Jesus cry, that sort of thing, when they're 3 or 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So,
I'd like to make a meta observation about the show since I've been out for a few weeks. It seems to me we're getting international calls now. I mean, we've gotten calls today from California. We've got one queued up from Canada. I know we talked to somebody before the show who was from somewhere in England. That's cool. On the other hand, it worries me a little bit, because a lot of what's frequently driven the show is people calling in locally who weren't necessarily seeking out an atheist show. I'm afraid we're getting too many friendly people. On the other hand, I noticed that in the chat room for the Ustream, a lot of people are taunting some Christians to please call in. And I'm not sure... I would like to encourage those people in a friendly fashion that we are very nice people, and we would like to hear from you. And the chat room is going nuts. I just mentioned them. Okay, shut up, you people.